Hi guys, iLukas here, and I want to introduce you guys to the Sportsman. In this video, you're going to be finding out what happened to me, why I've left YouTube, and what I'm doing now. But for now, here's Stephen Howson.
Hello everybody, my name is Stephen Howson. This is the Sportsman Bet, the best place on the internet for sports fan content beyond just the result. As you may have known, there's been a lot of changes with the channel lately, and we're here to talk with Lucas to find out why he stepped away from YouTube, what his plans are for the future, and could we be possibly seeing him come back? Let's check it out. Right then, so we've come to Lucas's local. What's happening now, kid?
I'm alright, yeah.
And we're going to find out exactly what it's all about then. So, mate, you got this channel absolutely banging. 300k is significant, man. I know how hard that is. How'd you get it up to that?
Like at the time, it feels like now the threshold on YouTube and the standards that like are set are so much higher now compared to when I originally hit like 150,000, then 300,000. That was deemed a very like high point on YouTube during that time. Nowadays, it's like unless you hit 1 million, you're not really like super relevant.
I mean, I'm on 70k and I feel like a
and it's a shame it has come to that, but YouTube has become so big and so saturated that like, you know, the threshold and the standards, it always gets higher. But for myself, getting to where I got to, it was just hard work. Like, it was literally just, I took it as a hobby. I started out as a hobby, as many people know. I was uploading daily to 60 subscribers. Like, I couldn't believe I had 60, like 60, and my videos were getting like 20 views, and it was like 20 people want to watch what I'm putting out. That is mental. So I was uploading every day to these 20, 30 people, and they were watching it, and it was just like, it was crazy. And eventually, I brought something to the table that was at the time new, and also at the time it was more of bringing myself into the channel, because that was me. And it was face cam videos, it was like rage videos, it was like passionate FIFA. And the reason is because I'm a sore loser. Like, we could have a game of pool right now over there. You beat me, I wouldn't be happy. I'd want to break a cue or something. It's just like a competitive nature that's within me that I thought people might like to see that. And that's literally, I thought, yeah, let's put a camera on like we are now, a camera facing me. I'm going to play this game and I'm just going to be natural. And then the result of that, putting the clips together, it was like, yeah, it was a snowball effect. People then noticed that, like bigger YouTubers. Like in the FIFA scene, there was like Unique Riggers, a dude called Unique Riggers, Matt HD Gamers. Again, a lot of the viewers that view this, watch FIFA, know them to YouTube as well. Yeah, they were noticing my content, and they were like, they left my link in the description. So if anyone was watching Matt HD's Unique Riggers videos, they would literally go down to the description, click on it, and then watch a couple of my raw videos on my channel, sort of thing. And
that's the game on YouTube, isn't it? Is that collaboration really is the ultimate thing?
It is fundamental to any success. Like, you won't just reach 0 to 100,000 to 1 million on your own. Like, you would have to be very, very lucky to do that. But even as a content creator myself, when I was doing it, I'd always notice channels and people that were at the time significantly smaller in terms of numbers, and I'd be like, this dude has got something. He's good. He's good. He needs to reach more people. You know, Visa was one of them people for me. Like, I used to watch him. I used to be like, this guy, he could go somewhere. It reminds me of me when I started out, probably minus the rage a little bit. I don't think he gets as mad as me, but I thought, you know, I like him, and if I like him,
yeah, but
then why won't my viewers like him?
That is the beauty of YouTube, is that you can find the weirder the niche that you feel like you want to go and explore. And not only that, you can learn how to dismantle a washing machine.
Yeah,
you can do YouTube has been such a brilliant resource. Why do you think stuff like playing FIFA? 'Cause I'm a little bit older. Like, I play FIFA. I don't really watch people play FIFA too much, but I know that it's an enormous audience. My son watches people play FIFA. I don't get it. Why do you think people like watching other people play?
Well, I think if you really like a game, like you like FIFA, and like you play a certain way, you open packs yourself and stuff, they are two of the biggest things on YouTube. It's playing the game.
I've got to admit, the packs things goes right over my head.
And the packs, it's basically, it's like you spend X amount of coins, or there's a virtual currency called FIFA points. Well, it's all virtual currency, but you can pay for FIFA points with real life money. and you open packs and like, 9 times out of 10, you're not very lucky. But then that 1 time out of 10, you hit a big one. And people like to see people hit that big one, like hit an icon in a pack, So it's kind of like, it's one of them things. So I was just like, I like watching that. I want to do that. And I can see why I still watch YouTube now. I still watch FIFA YouTube now. And I've took a step back from YouTube. But I still watch people open packs because it's fun. It's good to watch. It's exciting. You see that people know that play FIFA 90. You see that little walkout logo. And you're like, oi. It's a walkout! It's a walkout! It's a walkout! Come on! It's a walkout! Come on! Give me one out. Yeah, and it's an icon. The flare comes around. You're like, nah, who did he get? And it makes you almost want to go and replicate that on your own Xbox. Open some packs, play FIFA. You watch professional FIFA players play. And you're like, oh, I want to see if I can do what they do on my foot champions and stuff. So,
Isn't it mad that that phrase exists, professional FIFA players?
Yeah.
Can you imagine talking to like a counsellor at school and being like, listen, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play video games. I'm going to have hundreds of thousands of people tune in and they'll be like, you're a dreamer, you're an idiot.
It's so funny now.
There's a lot of people who do that.
My nephew, like, he's 11, 12 years old, and it's like, he wants to do YouTube. Kids nowadays, I could imagine a 12-year-old and 11-year-old watching this. That he's probably too young, and in my opinion, is too young to be on YouTube. That when they're older, they want to, dip into it and have a go.
The barrier to entry is so low. Like True Geordie famously started with an iPhone and an ironing board. I started off with an iPhone and a bit of a backdrop for all of the stuff that I've done, and that's the drive to just want to share your opinion and get that feedback from everybody is massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think that's why so many people want to do it. And aside from the fact that it's not digging holes, it's a pretty fun job to have in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It was. It was fun. Like You wake up and the first thing you think of is like, what video am I making today? You've got interactions left, right and centre on Twitter, on YouTube comments. It is fun. Instagram, everything, it is fun. So yeah.
So that's the good side, and obviously building up a channel to 300,000 is massively significant, and congrats on that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
But obviously you had to step away at some point. So what sort of fueled that decision?
Well, the channel when I was uploading, like, it was dying off. I knew it was dying off. Viewers that, either liked my content, watched every video, tuned in, which I still appreciate to this day. They kind of knew that the channel was going downhill. I was struggling a little bit. And I just thought I need to take a step away from this. I took a big gamble when I moved away from Brum, which is where my original job was based and stuff. So moving away from where my original job is to then I moved to Weston-super-Mare, it was. That means that all my work and all my income, my way of living is all provided from YouTube. So it was a lot of pressure on it. And eventually it just got too much. And like my channel was dying. I was just in a bad place psychologically and stuff. I was like, I'm obsessed with it. A bit like how Blues fans are with Villa on Twitter and stuff. They're literally on the hashtag, like hashtag AVFC, they're obsessed. I was obsessed to the point. I was like, right, okay, I need to put this down. I need to go back to
Obsession can be good. Obsession can lead you to go into greatness and getting deep and expert level into stuff. But you thought it was a negative obsession.
Yeah, well, it goes from positive to negative. I should state that. Yeah, it does. Obviously, to build what I built, you have to be obsessed with just making content and bettering your content each time. You do have to have that obsession. If you're just lazy with your content, you will die off. And my obsession, it eventually got too much. And then negative effects were coming. My content wasn't as good as it used to be. I was running out of ideas. My content wasn't as original anymore. It was just, for me, it was just a time, right, yeah, okay, I need to put this down. I need to step back into the real world. Because when you are like self-employed and you're doing YouTube, a lot of the time, a lot of YouTubers, content creators will tell you as well, you're just stuck in a square box for 80% of the day, 7 days a week. This is what viewers don't really see. They don't see, well, but it is a lot of time.
The edit of the video, let alone, sitting there and playing the game, you go, all right, it's 20 minutes. But you're not just going to work 20 minutes because you've still got the filming, the editing, the downloading, the uploading, all that sort of stuff takes an unreal amount of time. That's so hard to explain. You'd be like, yeah, I'm still editing that thing, yeah. Because if you play for an hour, you've got to do at least an hour watching it to see before you even start going back and chopping it up and placing it into something that looks a little bit more entertaining. For all the times that you've just been sitting there breathing out your mouth and just playing without, oh shit, I better talk now.
No, literally, you find yourself as well, you get to a point in the vid and you're like, okay, you almost think on the spot, okay, when I edit this, I know what I'm going to do here. And the more you do it, the more that comes to you naturally. And then it kind of helps you on the editing side. It kind of shortens everything a little bit down. FIFA videos as well weren't too difficult to, especially mine, because it was face cam to the Elgato footage. It was literally finding the spikes. And then going just
raged.
And that was it, because I wasn't really a calm speaker. There would just be like, and it would be like, okay, I've gone mad there. Something's happened there. So let's start from a little bit before there and we'll get that in there. So for me, editing, it was simplified a little bit more on that basis than, whereas if I was a calm talker, you got to really listen to yourself and put out the key points and stuff. So for me, it was quite easy. And I think generalising FIFA videos as well, it can be quite easier to edit them, but it's still time consuming. A lot of big YouTubers / streamers now, they will have their own editors and stuff, which is something I never delved into personally. I always like to, have my own idea behind it and stuff. I just prefer doing it myself, but I mean, each to their own, I suppose, but yeah.
What was the point where you was like, I'm done, man, it's time to call it a day?
I think it was, I can't remember I think it was a Road to Glory Balassi video that I uploaded, and I thought it was I spent a little bit more time on it than I usually would to try and pick up, it was prior to that video, it was like, right, I need to try and pick up my content, I need to do something, so I did, and I'd done something to that video that I wouldn't do to other videos, but it didn't have any effect, and I was kind of I did kind of give up at that point. It was kind of, again, that could be a premature thing to do. Maybe I should have stuck at them sort of videos, but for a longer amount of times. That's how I started out originally. So, it was just grind. But, with everything that was going on in my mind psychologically and stuff, it was just like, right, I need to knock this on the head now. And it was literally at a psychological point where I was like, I can't even upload a video to say look, thanks for everything, because it was just it just would have been too much, emotionally, psychologically and everything. I just put out a tweet in there which received so much positivity from fellow content creators, subscribers, followers, fans, and it was really nice, and I stayed off social media then. I took a long break from social media. I think it's about 6 months or something like that, maybe a bit short, mate. But it felt like a long time, and it was well needed, because during that time, I was thinking, right, I need to get my life back on track. What do I want to do? What did I do before YouTube? I was a carer. I look after people. I work in a hospital. I nurse. It's what I did.
Such a polar opposite to being.
It is
your job, your drive, the thing that you're driven to do is care. But when you create content, just a kind of rages.
And this is where some people were like to me, you just fake your age, you just fake it. And it's like, listen, when I play a game, I'm a different person. But if you see me on the street, if you see me I'm a nice, approachable talk. You can talk to me. And as soon as when someone meets me, and they then tweet me saying, I can't believe what you like in person, it's because that's why. As soon as you put me in front of a game, and during my time on YouTube, when pink slips, wages, there were rages for me, but wages when that were a thing, that would bring me to my pinnacle of rage and anger. But away from that, I'm just a normal guy, just like yourselves. It's just, and most of the people watching this video, but gaming, it can really bring out a real nasty, sour side to people. However, people like that side to me. They were like, I want to watch him smash some more controllers and smash windows through.
Rage definitely sells on YouTube. How easy was it to integrate back into normal life then?
Do you know what? I thought I was gonna struggle a lot more with that. And I remember it was my ex-girlfriend said to me that, when you go back into the normal world, it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. And I kind of feared it from there, sort of thing. And I was a bit like, working shift hours, 12.5-hour shifts, I'm used to I have a boss now. I have certain you know, especially in my line of work. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. But yeah, I thought I was going to struggle, and actually, because I was so like ready to move away from what I was doing, it was a breath of fresh air, and it was like, you know what, I like this. I like having proper routine and, you know, someone to answer to, very strict rules to follow. Being a nurse, you know, you have lives in your hands, so you know it is very.
And what made you decide to ask us to get involved then to keep the channel alive?
Well, you know what, like, for so long I was contemplating, do I just use this now as a community channel? I can get people out there, I can watch their content and think, you know what, contact them and say, let me showcase your stuff on my channel. I thought, and then it was just like, but I'm not really moving away from what I'm still
gonna have to do a
in
lot
there.
of admin.
I'm still in there. I'm still controlling stuff. So I was just like, right, I'm going to leave it. If one day my circumstances change and I want to go back to it, my channel's there. I can try and upload to it again and try and get people back in and stuff. I still have a Twitter following. I can, you know, integrate everything and get everyone back to the channel as such. But yeah, I was just like, the time hadn't come, and then you contacted me, and at first I was a bit like, you know, I was a bit sceptical, because, you know, I get people contact me all the time saying, let me buy your YouTube channel off you, let me take over your YouTube channel, or I can upload this and that, and it's like, these are just regular people in respects. I say it with a lot of respect, but they're just regular people, and like it was like, well, I can't take that risk because I don't know who you are, I don't know anything about you, I have nothing to search up on you to check what you're, you know. For all I know, you could be a criminal. I'm giving a criminal my YouTube channel. Do you know what I mean? That looks really bad on me then. But yeah, when you contacted, I had a look through your socials and stuff. I understood what you were putting across. I knew it was very 18 plus stuff, because gambling is, well, it's 21, isn't it? 25. I don't know the rules nowadays. You know, it's all over the place. But
When the fun stop, by the way.
yeah. But I was like, I trusted from what I'd already seen from your socials that this is going to a safe hands and it's not just going to be a waste anymore. And I did think, because at the time you contacted me, I had a lot of time off. So I was like, and when you did contact me, I was like, okay, I might be able to get involved and help out. And then, you know, put everything together that we've done, and it's been all right. I think so far so good. I'm happy with what you guys are uploading on there. And, you know, what you're trying to do with it, I respect it, and I see your vision, and I support it. So, yeah, I'm with you.
So what is the possibility that you ever step back into maybe not doing it full time, but so this audience can still get a little bit of Lucas?
Hey, look, I'm open to get involved. I have had a long break from it now. It's been well over a year now since I edited my own video. So, yeah. I'm open to get involved in stuff, whether it's FIFA down the line, you know, things like this, little podcast type videos, and yeah.
Well, I know one of the things
insight into my life.
we're looking at doing all sorts of like trips out, going to different sporting events. So I don't know, what do you guys reckon? Let us know in the comments. Would you like to see Lucas come out on a day out with us and maybe go to races, go to the football? Don't know, let us know in the comments. It's your channel after all. Let us know.
Yeah. I think a trip to Villa Park wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, get down the Villa, watch the boys.
I like Villa Park. United have got a good record at Villa Park.
Yeah, I'm not surprised you like it after Giggs' goal there against Arsenal.
Oh, it's always a good time at Villa Park. I do wish the semi-finals was back at Villa Park. Not just for Giggs' goal, but I would love to see. They were good. It's not as long a trip for us to get down here. It's pissing. All the jokes aside about United fans, like there's a lot of us in Manchester, more than City fans, obviously. But it's an easy place to get to for us, and it's a cracking old ground, old brick ground like Old Trafford is. So there's a lot to go there. How's it going for Villa at the moment?
Well,
a couple of injuries at the moment.
Do you know, last time we spoke, actually, I was a little bit more optimistic of where we were going to be at this point now. Well, I think it was last time we done a vid. It was Dean Smith had just taken over, or was literally in the frame to take over.
Someone throw a cabbage or something, or a cauliflower, was it?
Yeah, cabbage at Steve Bruce. And like, it's funny because we get.
Is there any significance of that, or is it just like?
It's just one fan. He got a bit over the emotional, which I don't blame him, because if it wasn't him, it was going to be me that was throwing something at him. It probably would have been my fist more than anything. No, I'm kidding. But it was literally, you know, it's just a fan got emotional, and That's how it is. But a lot of rival fans, they think that's something against us. They say, "Oh, you're taking your cabbages to the game." It's like, look, if you could have lined up a lot of us, I think a lot of fans would have threw a cabbage at him.
It's such a random thing, though. That's the thing that stands in it. Like, you've seen it at Sunderland back in the day, people going throwing, or Middlesbrough it might have been, people throwing season tickets at them and stuff like that.
Yeah, it happens.
A cabbage is a mad thing to throw.
Yeah, but now at the moment, I can see the Smith ball. It's coming into play. We are playing better football, but we've still got to remember that we've still got Steve Bruce's team. A few changes here and there. Terry's no longer on the pitches in the back and stuff. There is a few changes, but it is still, like, from the core, a Steve Bruce team. Until January's finished, until the summer's finished, and then Smith can bring in the players that he wants to bring in, and then mould his own squad, put his own philosophy in properly, like he did at Brentford, then, we've got to be patient as fans. I'm not saying let's write off the season, because I don't think it is a write-off. We're like 5 points off the playoffs, and with the run of results that we've had, we've been so bad in the league that I'm surprised it's only 5 points. And with it being only 5 points...
It's 2 wins. And in the Championship where people lose on a regular, and there's tough games on a regular, 5 points is actually really, really doable. Do you think you end up in the playoffs? Do you think you're ready for Premier League next year if you could make it through?
No.
Do you think it'd be straight back down again?
It's hard because I think we are a big football club still, even though we're down there. Like, Sunderland are still a big football club, and look where they are. They're a big football club, whether you like it or not. They are. I think if we did get promoted, we'd attract names. Great stadium. It's not a great place. Like, B6. It's not the best. Let me tell you. Like, it's not. It's a bit of a shithole, but. To play with the facilities we've got, the players that we've got there as well. I think the manager as well and what he wants to put across, we can attract names. So, again, it could just be a toss-up. Would we survive in the Prem, would we not? It would be a toss-up.
A lot of the promoted teams are generally sticking around at the moment.
Yeah.
It doesn't look great for Huddersfield and Fulham for this season, but a lot of the teams that do come up, in recent years, there's one or two that have surprised people and stuck around for a few years. Villa for me are an original Premier League side, and it wasn't a team that I wanted to see relegated. There's about 10 teams I'd like to see go out of the league before it would have been Villa. Like I said, I always like going to Villa Park. It's always a pretty good hunting ground for United anyway. So for me, you're one of Europe's elite as well. There's not many that have done what Villa have done. Certainly not many of the London clubs. So I would love to see you back in the league, but like I said, it's just a lot of the star players that you've got, or a lot of the lads that are doing bits for you at the moment, you either see them potentially being moved on or cashed in on, or they're on loan, which is a nightmare.
It is, yeah.
Because you got up on the back of a couple of good players, and they'd be like, "Oh, we ain't got them no more."
It is frustrating. Last season, we got to the final step, and we lost. I feel deservedly to a Fulham team because we just didn't turn up. And I
watched the game; it was a good game.
Yeah. To get to that point. And then, we don't get promoted. It is annoying, but you got to think the players that are there are loan players. And at the end of that season, they're gone. Your Snodgrass. Terry was always going to be one season. Obviously, Sam Johnson as well from you guys. Like, literally, it was one season. Okay, you could argue that with the FFP stuff, the financial fair play, hit us at a bad time. It probably did edge Johnson's decision to go to West Brom rather than... stick it out at United for a bit longer, wait to see what develops at Villa. I don't blame him, to be honest. But for me, he was definitely one that got away from me. He's a great keeper. I feel like stability's not been there since he left.
That's the problem, man. You get players like that on loan, and you get stuff like that comes through.
It's like you're building on sand, It's not...
So Villa are 8-1 to be promoted. Reckon that's worth a couple of quid or not?
Well, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a tenner on it myself, to be honest. This is why when you ask me, do you think Villa will get promoted? My wallet's like, you better get promoted. I got some dash on this, so yeah. So obviously, I would back it. Oh, I am backing it, so I would advise if you're old enough to give it even just a couple of quid. If you're an avid fan like me, then you're gonna.
Well, that's the break in it. I mean, there's some people that might have United to do the treble this season. Because
yourself, yeah.
No,
you're
not
just
me.
Putting that out there.
No, I don't think so. No. just win the Champions League.
You never know under Solskjaer. I like the way you're going under him so far.
To be fair,
so good, man.
I massively underestimated what this squad was capable of because I bought into what Jose was saying, that this team isn't good enough. But we had a top-heavy team with great attacking talent and not a great defence, and Jose was kind of, let's not concede and then see what happens, whereas Solskjaer's like, let's go score a load of goals and see what happens. And from a fan perspective, it's more entertaining, it's more in fitting with what we're about, and the stuff he comes out with saying, a fan couldn't have written it better. Like a fan could not have, the way he's revered about the club, the way he talks about the club, the way he talks about the responsibility that they have as the club, the way he pushes everyone else forward. Like, we put 5 past Cardiff, and one of the guys interviewing goes, "You're the first manager since Fergie to score 5," and he goes, "You mean since Mike Phelan was last here?" And you think, he don't want to take any credit for anything himself, and he's just like, no, it's about my team, it's about the players. Yeah. And they'd be like, oh, you've just done whatever, and he's like, oh, it's pretty easy when you got Paul Pogba playing like that. And you just think, Mourinho would have been like, yeah, I know, I'm mint.
But he was like that as a player, though, weren't he, Solskjaer? Like, he wasn't always, leading the line because, Andy Cole, Teddy Sheringham, Dwight York were all. Let's go back to Man United '99. Right, Solskjaer was like
season.
3rd or 4th choice striker, and he didn't really complain. He come off the bench and done a job. I remember him scoring. He come off the bench and scored 4 against Forest. I remember that because that was like I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this guy, he doesn't even start. And I was a kid, and I was like, if he can come off the bench and score 4, I was like, playing for my Sunday League team, if I don't start this week, it's all right, I'll come off the bench and I'll score 4.
There's a couple of things that he said about that. One of them being like, Joe, if I drop a player and they get a bit of an attitude about it, he goes, I'm the perfect person to talk to him about that. It's like, and the other one is like, he said, I don't sit on the bench sulking. I sit on the bench and go, how am I going to impact this game when I come on? And I'm looking for weaknesses or traits that the defence are making that I can exploit. And you think, wow. And he has had a bit of success.
It's nice for like a United fan like yourself to have that fresh mentality as the manager. Because Jose is an arrogant manager.
He made it all about him.
He's a bit arrogant.
Strike one was that Sevilla game. He come off that Sevilla game and it was a bad result and it was a worse performance. And he gets in the press conference and he's like, don't know what your problem is. I've sat here in the opposite seat when United have been knocked out of the Champions League. And you're like, wrong time and place. That was strike one, that for me. It was nasty, that. There was no need for that. And then we've got some brilliant youngsters. Takes them on a pre-season tour. And instead of going, do you know what? I haven't got Paul Pogba, I haven't got Jesse Lingard. They've just done great in the semi-finals and final of the World Cup. Well done, you've earned your break. I'm going to bring through some of this top talent that we've got now, and you're going to see the future of United. He could have said that. Solskjaer would have said that. Instead, he went, I haven't got all my players, and these youngsters aren't good enough. And you think, wow, nice one, mate.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a youngster at a big club like United, and the top dog is saying that, how do you feel about your chances, man, of breaking through, taking that step from the under-23s to the first team, from the under-18s?
I spoke to a couple of the parents of the academy players, and they was like, what do you think we felt like hearing that? And you think,
it's kind of like, well, okay, I want to take my son or my daughter, well, obviously in this case son, but I want to take them to a different club and develop them there because they may have a shot at getting to where they want to get to. So.
Ollie comes in, 5 minutes later, those players start appearing in the squad, matchday travelling squad, on the bench, getting debuts, and you go, yeah, actually, this is what we're supposed to all be about, man. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. Do you reckon we should have a quick game of FIFA at some point in the future?
Do you know what? With what I've just said to you, like, I don't mind, but I suggest that we go in separate booths. No, I'm kidding. Look at the slides, we'll take me in one shot. No, I think we should, though. Get a bit of FIFA on the channel and maybe put something on the line as well, make it a little bit more interesting, because I feel that's when I'm at my best, when I perform the most, is when something's at stake.
You're going to have to play with, like, a team of one-legged pirates and me with, like, Paris are a bit of a team at the minute, aren't they? Because I'm terrible, so we're going to need favours for this one. But if you'd like to see that match between me and Lucas, let me know in the comments. Make sure to go and subscribe, and please give the video a share. Thank you guys for watching from me, and I guess from Lucas.
Yeah.
See you in a bit.